What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the 112th episode of Collecting Profit, weekly sports talk and sports cards talk show. Um, Glad to be around. Dami, how's it going? Thanks for being here, sir. As you can tell, we are on location again. But before we get going, anybody who might be watching on replay or anybody who catches it, Dom had a great idea about a show about doing, basically like a baseball preview show. I had card community card community members, I'm gonna put a message out in the Discord and see who might want to join next week. Do a little bit of a baseball preview show. Also, probably going to do another one. Reached out to the what's up, Alan? How are you? Reached out to Jeff and Chris, from Slabbin, babbling about Slabbin, to see if we can do one where we would do like the American League, or we'll do one league on my channel, and then the following night do the other league on their channel. Get into a deep discussion, tie cards into it, and do it all the kind of good stuff. Not in Hotel California. We're in Hotel Mississippi, while the CEO holds down the fort at Huddle Card HQ, getting out all our orders and everything. So Top Series 1, a lot of breaks were happening, over the last, little couple of weeks and everything. Most of them started, last Wednesday was the release day. And, I got in a couple of team breaks, to go ahead and see, just to get my hand, trying to score a couple autographs or something. I didn't do that great in them, but that's okay. Really to go ahead and see the cards. Couldn't get any of the Mets cards or anything. Hey, Lachlan, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hunter, how are you, sir? Didn't do well, but I tell you the truth, I mean, I watched, what was it? It wound up being 3 jumbo cases and 2 hobby cases. So I watched the breaks, and the breaker basically was, passing through all of, the base. I think he showed the base like the first couple of, maybe the first few packs and everything. But then after that, basically flew through the breaks to the hits. And this breaker did not get juiced boxes. I can tell you that for sure. It wasn't, it wasn't bad breaks, but there was not like massive, banger after banger after banger. I mean, the order, there were a couple of autographs that were halfway decent autographs, but a lot of the autographs, were of, like what we've seen in a lot of products. It's the backup infielder, it's the relief pitcher, it's a number 5 starter. Even the relics that he was doing, he wasn't killing it on relics either. I guess there was like I think it was a Mike Trout bat relic, but I mean, that's not really, I mean, if you're a Mike Trout guy like my son is, that's a great card. You want it, but that's not a card you're holding up and going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got this. I made my money back, so from that standpoint. But yeah, it has been 100% Locking. It is rough. Like I said, I watched, and I mean, I think so think about it, 3 jumbo cases. So that's 18 boxes of jumbo. And then I watched 2 hobbies. So that's 12, another 24. So basically 30 boxes. And I mean, like I say, not saying that, it just wasn't great. I think out of all that, pulled maybe 1 to 5 card, maybe a couple to 10s. But after that, wasn't getting those, was not getting those massive, those massive hits and stuff. So I haven't really watched that much more. But like I said, him running through the paper, made it a little easier to watch. But like I said, there was nothing that made me like, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. But I haven't seen the physical cards. I've only seen them on screen, so I don't know, how they look at everything. But what I will say is this, if you want to get into a case break, whether it be a case of jumbo or a case of hobby, go right ahead. But I would say, for lack of better words, lower your expectations, because I don't think you're going to get the kind of return that you would like to go ahead and get. If you don't care, and you are a fan of Team X, then that's fine. I probably, if you got into a case hobby break, you should get, every card, every base card at least of the player. Not sure, what else, but like the silver packs. In one of the hobby box case breaks, 3 of the silver packs had the exact same cards. The exact 5 cards out of a case of hobby. I mean, so that's 3 out of 12. So 25%, had had the same exact cards. So, hey, if you had one of those teams, you're like, hey, that's great. I got 3, and it wasn't like it was, any of the big names. It wasn't like, it was Shohei and Judge, and Lindor and Soto. It wasn't like you were getting all those names, 3 times. It was, you some retired, maybe a Hall of Famer guy, and then some other stuff. So it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But then again, that was me not setting my expectations the way I should have. I should have realized that, hey, Alan, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Thank you, sir, for stopping in. I should have realized, what it was going to be, with the way Fanatics is going. And then when I watched Stryker go ahead and do his, I think, there's like 1.2 million or 1.4 million base cards of each player. So, I mean, that's crazy. That is absolutely positively crazy that there's that, that they have printed that much. Should we be surprised? No, we shouldn't be surprised. Hello, Diamond. How are you? Should we be surprised? No. Like I said, Fanatics wants to 10x the hobby. So you're going to 10x the hobby, you're going to have to print a whole bunch of product. I didn't see, like I said, hey, Cabs Cards, how are you? I didn't see, any of the big, even veteran autographs pulled. Again, 18 jumbo boxes, 24, 24 hobby boxes. Didn't even see any of the big, name, veteran autographs pulled. So it's use caution. If you want to open it, go right ahead. You know me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna buy a few boxes to rip on the channel. So you, my loyal watchers, will know, hey, I don't need to buy this. Michael already ripped it and he got jack shit. So there's no sense in me wasting my time going ahead and opening it. So that's what we have, from like I said, that was, series one. Uh I mean, we have to realize, that's the design that we're gonna get. That's what Chrome is gonna look like also. So get ready. If you're not a big fan of uh if you're not a big fan of it, well then you're not gonna be a fan of Chrome either. So, and if they're doing this with Series One with flagship, you got to believe that they're going to go ahead and you're going to have the same great odds when you start ripping into Chrome. I'm glad you're doing good. Yep, I'd say everybody is amazing. You know, uh, you know, So we will see. We'll see what happens. What else do we have? I mean, is there anything coming out? Let's check. Let me check the Beckett. I mean, it's really, I tell you, it's tough out there with product. Um, I got some of the upper deck. You guys saw the Marvels, the Avengers, the hockey repacks and everything, coming through, whatever it is, coming through upper deck. Those were pretty good. Those were did decent and everything. You know, um, like I didn't realize Anthony went ahead and told me last night that in that Avengers thing, the jambalaya is a case hit. I didn't know. I mean, I saw it on the checklist, but I didn't know it was a case hit. I just thought it was a really good chance to have it. Lachlan told me that the Becky Lynch that I got out of the Chrome Mega Box was a case hit, the Persona one. So there is some stuff out there, but I mean, you got to be very, very cautious in what you're trying to open. I mean, there's basketball still to go ahead and come. There's more basketball and more football. Topps Chrome football should be interesting. Topps Chrome football was supposed to release today. Did it release today? I'm not sure. But Topps Chrome football going to be non-licensed. How do you feel? We've talked about we've talked about it a lot, or I've talked about it a lot, and you've typed a lot about non-licensed product. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you care? Do you not care? Oh, we'll give you $3 for the crappy bag. Let me think about it. Okay, so it did release today. I didn't get a chance to check. I was working all day. But again, do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you okay with non-licensed? Are you okay if you're a Chicago Bears guy? You probably don't care. You can get a Caleb Williams autograph. You're gonna have his white jersey. He'll have his dark helmet, but you won't have any logos or names on it, stuff like that. Do you care? If you're a fan, I don't think you care. If you're an investor, you might care. But it goes back to kind of, and I hate to use Wemby as an example because Wemby is, a generational type player. But let's use a Caleb Williams, right? The official Caleb Williams rookie card with all of your, licensed product is going to be out of Panini. It's going to be Prism. It's going to be Select. I'm not worried about, you'll have Donaldson score, but don't worry about that, right? Will he be in flawless? Probably immaculate if they do that. Yes, they probably will. And and the best you'll be able to do at any of that product is going to be a patch card. And more than likely, the patch card is going to be not from any specific, event. So with it not being from any event, you get a rookie card. It's an official rookie card, but it's that. But you rip open Topps Chrome football. There's Caleb Williams. Has a little RC on it. And there's an autograph on it because he signed exclusively with Fanatics. You can't get his autograph on a Panini product. So, what do? I mean, do you care? Do you not care? If you're an investor, I think you care. But now, so what happens? So you think about it from a standpoint of is like him, Daniels for, Daniels, I think Drake May, I think Bo Nix. I forgot which ones of them signed exclusively with Fanatics. So the first time you'll be able to get their autograph on a licensed product will be their year 2 card. So you won't be able to get a rookie licensed autograph of those players. Does that matter? It is going to matter to a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there who are going to go, you know what? I am not touching unlicensed product. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to see a guy, in a plain white T-shirt or a white T-shirt, or a T-shirt, or a shirt with the, the number 2 on it, the number 18, the number 23, whatever it may be. There's going to be other people who don't care. I think there is a distinction between the two. I think the people that are going to care are the people that are really, in my opinion, just looking to make money off of the cards. The people that are there, if you want to call them investors, if you want to call them flippers, call them whatever you want to call them. I think those are the ones that you're going to that are going to have the problem with. The pure fan, the pure collector, not going to have an issue. I mean, I never had an issue with any, Mets cards or Jets cards that, really weren't doing Jets but now they are. I wouldn't have a problem if there was a Breece Hall, autograph in there of just him, with the green jersey, number 20 on it. I wouldn't mind if there was a Garrett Wilson, green jersey, with a number 5. It doesn't say Jets or anything. I'm a fan. I don't care. I know who it is. It's not like, it's not like a card that will, leave the collection. That's one of those ones that stays. So, to me, the licensed, the non-licensed, I think the people that, in my opinion, yes, you have the purest people, but the people that I think will scream the most are the ones that, for lack of better words, they're the investor. They're the ones who's trying to get in and get out of the cards, or maybe try and go ahead, and hold them, get them graded and stuff. And they're the ones that are going to, complain, this stinks that I can't get this guy's, card in a rookie card. Hockey was coming out today. We had, Peachy Hockey, Upper Deck SP Hockey. Soccer is going to be released, and more basketball. So, February is not a, not the Panini Prospect Edition baseball comes out at the end of the month. If you're into that kind of stuff, that's fine. But again, not a lot of stuff coming out. Not a lot, not like it used to. Now, I mean, I want to say not like it used to, but not a whole bunch, from that standpoint. So, so for anybody, in the chat, I said something at the beginning when I started. I'm going to put a post in the Discord of the card community. What I'd like to do is, if it is possible, next week, do a baseball show and just have people come on, if we can get, 5 or 6, that'd be awesome. but just do like round table talking about, different, teams, leagues and stuff. And maybe it'll be one of those things where, probably have to do it over a couple nights, because it can make for a really long night if we tried to talk about each team and maybe give some predictions. But I will definitely get that set up. If we could do it next week, maybe we do it the next 2 weeks. I'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna throw it in the Discord, see what kind of response we go ahead and get. But I would say that's probably what I'm looking at is, maybe the next couple weeks, which would be what, the first week and the second week, I guess, of March, of looking to do baseball shows, saying have the people come on. The other thing that I am considering doing, probably starting in April, is I think I'm going to move the show to 9 o'clock rather than 10 o'clock. I know that might not be good for a lot of people on the West Coast, but you know what? I think overall, I think it might be a little better giving it a shot of excuse me, of starting at 9 o'clock rather than starting at 10 o'clock. This way, also, if the show does go a little long, it's not going till 12:30 and all that kind of stuff. Hunter says, hello, Diamond. Wonder what I didn't check the prices. I wonder what the prices are. It probably isn't going to be cheap for Topps football. Let's see if we log on to Topps's website and we do some shopping. Topps Chrome football. Man, Tom Brady has autographs in this. Jaden Daniels. The official checklist. So the hobby boxes are sold out. The hobby cases are sold out. Mega box cases sold out. A value box, aka blaster box, $30, 4 packs, 4 cards per pack, 7 packs, 1 prism refractor, and 4 exclusive refractors. The mega box, $60 a box. There are 6 cards, 7 per pack, 1 prism refractor, and 10 exclusive refractors. So, do you go 1 mega box? Or do you go 2 of the blaster boxes? If you go 2 of the blaster boxes, you'll get more cards. You'll get 2 prism refractors, but you'll only get 8 exclusive refractors, not 10. So that would have to be something if you consider, doing. I don't know. I would like to go ahead and see a couple breaks on it and see how the cards look. But I'm looking at the Tom Brady card. That's, you look at the Tom Brady card and it's just him in his silver hat, silver helmet. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I mean when you come out with some of this stuff. Some of it's going to, think about it. You're a Dallas Cowboy fan. Now, I know there are a couple years out there. Why? I guess if you're going to have New York Jets fans, you're going to have Dallas Cowboy fans. But imagine, let's see, look at the team list. Dallas Cowboys. So Dallas Cowboys, an all-etched Troy Aikman autograph. And I don't think you can't have, I got to believe you can't have the star on the helmet. So you're basically going to have just a silver helmet. Or Emmitt Smith, or Terrell Owens, or Roger Staubach, or Tony Dorsett, and you have to have just a plain old silver helmet. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, Donnie Shell, Hines Ward, Joey Porter, Terry Bradshaw, Jerome Bettis, Troy Polamalu, James Harrison. I mean, black helmet. You can't have the Steelers logo. Are you going to be happy with that? I don't know. I really don't know, and I say that honestly. I mean, New York Jets. Let's see. Rookie autograph, no worries. Fabric. Darrelle Revis autograph. Keyshawn Johnson, Santana Moss, Wayne Corbett. I mean, damn. Yeah, the Browns really, when you think about it, the Browns are the only one that it won't matter, right? Because what do? You can't make their do you make their helmet a different shade of brown? I mean, every other team, there's a logo on the helmet, it goes away. The Browns really are the only team. So it'd be like, hey, it would be worth getting the Browns because at least that's the most correct card, except it probably just can't say, it can't say Browns. I think sometimes they had a shirt that said Browns on it. But that's the crazy part about it, man. I mean, you think about some of these, man, you're going to jump in and try and get, the New York Giants and Lawrence Taylor autograph or a Phil Simms autograph or Malik Neighbors, autograph. Or you try and get, New Orleans Saints, Archie Manning autograph, Saint helmet. Again, you look at your New England, you look at your New England Patriots. Teddy Bruschi has an autograph. Drake May. Looks like Brady, Gronk. I mean, imagine going ahead and getting one of those cards. I mean, yes, it would be cool to get it, but you get, Tom Brady. Hey, John, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? There's another one, Washington. The Washington, the Commanders, the Redskins. Base autographs, D'Angelo Hall, Joe Theismann, Washington Redskin autograph, Topps Chrome. But it's just, there's going to be no logo on the side of the helmet. It's just going to be, the what is that? Burnt orange, or I'm not sure exactly what the colors are of the Redskins. But it's going to be that. Jaden Daniels, same thing. Champ Bailey, John Riggins. So, I mean... Oh, you did? How you Strikers opened up some Topps football today. How'd they look? How did the cards look? Did they look halfway decent? He pulled a Jaden auto, did not look too bad, but $4.50 a box, not worth it. $4.50 a box. I mean, blasters are 30 and megas are 60. Yeah, I figured they're going to look nice. But I'm just wondering, how cool is it? Like see, you're a bad person to ask, John, because you're a fan. So I'm sure you wouldn't mind a Jaden Daniels autograph from Topps Chrome, But there are going to be people out there who are going to be like, oh, no, ooh, that would suck. Without the logos, they're a lot better than Panini. Yeah, I'm sure they are. The design looks really good. Not right. Yeah, you're not going to care. You're going to be happy. You got a Jaden Daniels, autograph. You're going to be, man, this is freaking awesome. But the guy who buys into them to, looking at an investment, looking at it to go ahead and think he's going to make big dollars. I mean, I don't know. Without the Commanders logo or without the Redskins logo, on a Joe Theismann card, it's just going to look weird. Like I said, I know there'll be both part of the people there. Any skins though would be really nice. Yeah, no. I know. I get it. That's what I'm saying. You're a fan, so you wouldn't care. But if you were an investor, if you're looking at someone, if you're looking to, hey, I think Bo Nix is going to be great, and you buy in, and you try and get Denver. Oops, sorry. True. Yeah, a a quad auto of the Hogs or whatever, however many. Well, it would be 5. That would be pretty cool. Get that on a card. That would be cool. I agree. It is a top product. And there are going to be people that are going to be, that won't be happy about it. But hey, it is what it is. That's okay. They're going to keep making the product. We're not going to it. But is it? Yeah, they'll get logos in 26. But is it? If it's 450 right now without logos, but you have those guys, obviously in 2026, you'll have those guys also with autographs. Now you'll be able to get logos. So it truly will be that first card with their logo autograph. I guarantee it's going to be more than 450 if once they go ahead and get the logos. I got to believe it will be. I mean, it's gone up each year, so it's not like we should be that surprised. But it I don't know, man. It's tough. The pricing has just gone crazy, especially especially if you'd like to get some of the big hits, from your team. Yeah, you could go into you can go into a team break of a case and maybe you get lucky. But if Topps Series 1 has been brutal, I got to believe overall football is going to be. Breaker's Delight, wow, 475. What is Breaker's Delight? Usually 10 cards? Right? I think. If I remembers correctly. I think it's 10 cards maybe. So $47 a card. Yeah. Not gonna happen. Excuse me. That's absolutely crazy. $47.50 a card. I mean, 2 autos. Yeah. 2 autos. That's where you get the offensive lineman and a defensive lineman logo, or you get the You get an offensive lineman and a cornerback. you know, you know, my luck. The two autographs, you know, the two autographs you get are two crappy players, and and they'd both be from the Patriots, which would suck. It'd be like an Eagles fan getting cowboy autographs, or a Redskin fan getting cowboy autographs. That's what'll happen. That's what happened. I'll get freaking New England. If I were to buy a Chrome hobby, a Chrome breaker, so I collect Royce Lewis. I don't mind Royce Lewis. I just can't, Where is Royce Lewis now? What did Royce do? What did Royce do? So, do you baseball guys, like I said a little earlier, going to post in a Discord or maybe send an email to like one of the big email groups, big email things that we have that go around for people doing breaks and stuff. Want to do a baseball show maybe the next 2 weeks. Maybe do like, the National League one night, the American League another night, have just like a group discussion, get, some, card community members, on the show and just, talk for a while about baseball, not baseball cards, but actual baseball. So we will see. But the only reason why I had gotten some Royce Lewis cards was I bought into a couple of breaks and Minnesota was cheap. Yes, the rip and ships will come back trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out. With the price of the baseball product the way it is today, it's just it's a little on the hard side. Because I want you guys to be happy. To me, it's not about me. I get the fun part. I get to go ahead and rip open the cards and everything like that and see them and stuff. But if you guys aren't happy because, the deals aren't that great, well then, I don't want to go ahead and disappoint, people. I do want to run another draft break. I thought that was a lot of fun. So I really I got to see what product I have, what I could put together with what I have, maybe buy, a 25 box, a hobby box or something like that, and do another, baseball draft break, try and get, like 5 people, or 6 people, 5 teams apiece, and then, and draft and go multiple years like I did the last one. So you really have to kind of, think a little bit about what teams you may want, what teams you may not want. So we'll see, and I still have some older stuff that I had taken out that I was trying to use for breaks. So not from a hobby box perspective, but I might be able to throw in, 22, Bowman mega box. I might be able to throw in, some Diamond Kings, stuff like that in there. So we'll see. You gotta, figure it out. I gotta get going here. I gotta get rid of a bunch of my old eBay inventory. So I'm hoping I might have a live sale on Saturday morning. I have to talk and see, if I could go ahead and get a time slot. But if not, I'm going to start doing that kind of stuff. Going to try and do more sales, even not just baseball or football or sports cards product, but even a lot of other stuff. So a lot of cool stuff, action figures, toys, all that kind of stuff. Please do, John. Please do. If you see something, definitely let me know. I probably, I would say, I go into my own LCS and everything. I go in there enough, but the problem I have is the owner doesn't really work there. Most of it is, the guys that, just the worker guys there. They kind of, I guess, like have like a little bit of a silent owner. So we will see. Excuse me. We will see. What? So I don't know if I can get. Hey, could you give me a break if I buy a lot more, not necessarily all one product, but if I can buy a bunch of different stuff. See if they have any old stuff in the back from a couple years ago that they weren't able to sell. They trying to just get rid of it. Maybe I can go ahead and get some stuff that way. But I mean, basically, the truth of the matter is I was basically selling it for what I pay for it, with shipping, and then maybe, add in a couple bucks just to go ahead and, cover, bubble mailers or boxes and, bubble wrap, that kind of stuff. Honest to goodness, I tell you that, most boxes, if I'd say 95% of the boxes, when you look at what I paid for them and what I rip and ship between that and shipping for, I was probably making, I don't know, $2-3. I wasn't doing it to make any money. It was just to go ahead and basically, honestly, to, have another live stream and just hang out with people, from that standpoint. But enough of that. So what do we think about Bregman signing with Boston? I know it happened a little while ago. We really didn't talk about it that much because last week we were really talking a lot of hockey with Eli. Eli and I talked after the show. He's going to I guess he was going to go to the West Coast card show, and I asked him that to say, hey, reach out after you go and stuff, and maybe come back on and give a report of what you thought about going to that. Yeah, it seems like he's already starting, trouble, it's kind of one of those ones is if you're the Boston Red Sox and you have Rafael Devers, who, is your probably, is your main guy, you go ahead and you bring in a free agent that plays the exact same position and you pay the guy big dollars. Were you not expecting something to go ahead and come of it? Were you expecting, especially when you ask him about moving, that the way you kill that one right away is say, hey, we're bringing Alex Bregman in, and Alex Bregman is going to be our second baseman, which in a way sucks, which doesn't make a whole bunch of sense because their top guy who killed it last year is a second baseman. So now you've basically gone ahead and made it so that there's no room for him. I don't care, but I don't understand. You got it. Thanks, Johnny. You don't care about Bregman. They should have spent the money on the pitching. $40 million a year. Yeah, I just like how is he worth that? Like I honestly don't understand. Like, who were they bidding against? Like who went ahead and was out there and was offering 30 million? Who was offering 35 million? Yeah, and then they have what's the kid's name? I just saw is oh, and they also have Christian Campbell. Christian Campbell is the guy who killed it last year, who a lot of people thought that he wind up being their second baseman. What's up, Matty Ice? The Tigers were offering big dollars. Wow. Well, that's crazy. Well, why, nobody knows that I go. I mean, I can understand why Adam would go live and everything because, nobody knows that I go live on Wednesdays. Tigers offered the same money, but it was for 6. So he turned down 6 years. Oh, it was 120 million for 6 years, or was it four? It wasn't 6 for 240, Lachlan, right? It was 6 for 120. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think he signed with some opt-outs. I think his contract has opt-outs, but I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a better deal if I was just trying to see. I was hoping that I could see what he actually signed because, like I said, I thought there was something in there about opt-outs in his deal. On top of the $40 million a year salary, love hitting at Fenway Park, winning player, 3 years, coaches, something special. Bregman has an opt-out after each of the first 2 seasons. Well, no shit, it's a 3-year deal. You don't need it. You already automatically have an opt-out after the third. So he does have opt-outs. I don't know. But don't forget, Larkin, they did sign Bueller. So anything's possible there. And they did go for Crochet. Yeah. So he has an opt-out after each one. So, I mean, in all seriousness, he is what, 30-something years old? Let me see. He's 30 years old. I'm just curious. If he's getting 40 million a year, how great of a year does he have to opt out to think he's going to get more than $40 million a year? Like, I don't get it. I may if I'm not doing anything, but I'm not committing to it. No, I agree. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they definitely should have went for more pitching. They did make a couple of moves, but it's not enough. I mean, they could have probably used some of that money, maybe brought in a Flattery also, rather than letting him go back to Detroit. Especially after you look at what the Yankees signed, Max Fried, so they increased their pitching. So yes, I agree. Pitching would have been a good place to spend money if you are, the Boston Red Sox. But I guess maybe they figured, hey, there's nobody out there that they really wanted to spend the money on. They did lose their closer. Yeah, that's what I mean. They lost a lot. They did go ahead and lose a bunch. So I mean, look, it's going to be interesting to see what they try and do. You know, I mean, what closure, and at this point, when you look at it from a standpoint of, what are you going to try and do? You're going to try and go out there and you're going to try and trade for a closer and use some of your prospects. I mean, probably not. And if you do, who are you going to go for? Who are you going to call up to try and get? What team that will probably have a losing record has a closer that you might want to go for? Maybe the guy in Minnesota, but Minnesota's usually halfway decent. They're usually hanging around, with that division, So I don't know, but I agree, you take a guy like Bregman, and that's a lot of money you could have put to use on pitching, especially when you have your best prospect is a second baseman. I just don't get it. I got to believe Trevor Story is going to be your DH, right? You're going to probably start, the Rafaela kid at short. They're a young team in the field when you think about it. You take away, you have Devers and you have Bregman. Most of your other positions are all, fairly young guys. I mean, I know, actually, no, because Yoshida was being their DH for them last year. Because I think with what's his name, the left fielder, I think you mentioned him. Let me check. Yeah, with Abreu. They had moved Abreu to left field, and they moved Yoshida to DH towards the end of last year. So I don't know, man. It's some things, don't make sense. And like I said, who were they bidding against? Yeah, I understand they were bidding against the Tigers, but they really weren't bidding against the Tigers. If the Tigers were saying 6 for 120, and they came in at 3 for 120, that's 6 for 120 is not bidding against the Tigers. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to the baseball season. Looking forward to game start. Looking forward to opening day, man. I actually have to. If Mets opening day, I have to take off that day so I could sit in front of the television and watch whatever it is, 12 hours or 13 hours, 14 hours of baseball that entire day. I hope it's not a Wednesday because I hate to have to go ahead and move the show. It's nothing. No, you're right. I mean, look, I mean, I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with the contract. I think there is something wrong with the contract because he's not worth $40 million. I mean, you're talking, Aaron Judge money, from that standpoint. So I cannot believe that he's worth that. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Again, what's the last 4 words of that sentence? If he is healthy. There are so many guys now, so many pitchers now. It's all about if they are healthy, if they are healthy, if this guy stays healthy, if that guy stays healthy. It's crazy what pitching has become, which in turn proves your point that you made earlier that you really need to invest in the pitching because it seems those are the guys that are getting harder and harder to replace. From that standpoint. That's one of the problems you have. The problem you have is there are so many guys. Oh, Texas Rangers could be really good. Yeah, if you know Jacob DeGrom is healthy and he can anchor that staff with some of the young arms they have, they'll be okay. You know, the Dodgers, they don't have to really worry. They're the one team that they can lose a pitcher and they'll be okay. But there are other teams you say the same thing. Oh, this guy, I mean, even you look, Fried coming off being hurt and everything with what the Yankees signed him to. I mean, as long as he can go ahead and stay healthy, that's good. I don't know. We'll see. I think that's the one pitching, you know, pitching across. I mean, even Boston, Walker Bueller. Walker Bueller used to be. I mean, he was what was he ever the number one for the Dodgers? I know he was, let's say, the number two, but there's a guy right there who, at one point in his career, he had number one type stuff. Injury, boom, knock him down. He's not that good. Look at Kershaw the last couple years, injuries, boom, killing him. So there's so many guys out there that it's injury after injury, and maybe this and maybe that. I just saw that the guy who used to be with Baltimore, Jonathan Means, he just signed with the Guardians. But here's a guy he's coming off his second Tommy John, and he's had two Tommy Johns over the last 3 years. He had a Tommy John I think it was sometime in 2022, and then he had one in 2024. I mean, what are you going to do with these guys? It's not good for them. It's not good. Hey, Big John, how you doing, buddy? Hope all is well with you. So, I don't know. Altuve is playing in left field. He's getting time in left field, and the Astros signed Brandon Rogers from he was a free agent, used to be with Colorado. Ready for baseball season, yes, sir. Big John, just so you know, what I'm thinking of doing is the next 2 weeks. I'm waiting on something to come back about the 12th of March. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but also going ahead and I'm going to do kind of like 2 baseball season, like a preview of a couple of shows. 1 week do the American League, maybe the next week do the National League. So keep your ears and your eyes open for for that. I'll let you know if it all gets scheduled and everything. The Blue Jays. Yep. Good night, Balkan. Hey man, stay safe out there, bro. Go ahead and try and stay warm. It's this weather has been absolutely nuts, bro. Nuts. But Toronto and Vladdy. Yeah. We need to do a Mania one for sure. We'll get that on the calendar too. We do it like we did that last time, Big John. You and I did the preview show. That'd be pretty cool. Sean, how you doing, buddy? Man, you speak of the Astros, and look who shows up. I was just mentioning how Altuve's been getting time in left field, and they signed Brandon Rogers to potentially go ahead and play second base, which I think is very interesting. Very interesting. Excuse me a second, just looking at something. See if I can get some more news or something like that. Wow, that's a lot of people. Hmm. Yep, yeah. Yeah, they just announced it today that they just signed him today. So he's taking time out in left field. They feel as though he can handle it. Um, to me, I think I I think athletically, left field is probably, I mean, I hate to say it, left field is probably the easiest of the outfield positions to play. From that standpoint, athletically, I know he can do it. I'm just wondering if does he have the arm to play left field now? Obviously, for left field, that is the typically that is the outfielder with the weakest arm. but I'm just curious, how a guy who and this is not Altuve, this is not Altuve specific. Um, and I know the Astros did it with Craig Biggio. Uh, but what I'm wondering is that, you know, for a guy that had played second base for so long, and a guy who's used to more of a snap throw or a quick, sidearm throw, an off balance throw, if all, but now you're thinking a different type of throw. You really need to use more of your body when to make those long throws. So it'll be interesting to see, what he could do there. Well, yeah, I mean, it is easy. It's definitely easier with the wall because there's less you got to cover. Excuse me a second. Yeah, there's left you got to cover. I mean, it's almost like the guy who, the left fielder, that plays in Boston, with the Green Monster. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting, right? All of a sudden, it's a longer throw, and it's so it'll be really interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a professional baseball player. I'm sure, when he warms up, he does his long toss where he's throwing, 120, 150, 180 feet. So, it's not like he's never thrown that long. It's just going to be interesting, it's just going to be interesting to see, you know, from a fantasy baseball perspective. I mean, after the first few weeks of the season, all of a sudden he's going to qualify, as a left fielder. So now he opens up a position that way. I agree. I agree. Yeah, Biggio was definitely bigger and on more athletic. I'm not trying to compare. I mean, we've seen that it can be done, and you can become a good player and stuff. Um, but it'll just be interesting to see, um, you know, what he can accomplish out there. How much ground can he go ahead and cover? Again, just going to be very different. But hey, you have all spring training. I'm sure I know they talked about it when the season ended because they wanted their original thought was to bring Bregman back and see if Bregman would move over to second base. What do I think about Trout moving over to right field? You know, I'm sad about it because he was so good in center field. But I'm more happy about it because I think he will be able to stay on the field more. I think what you're going to see is, that I think he'll get a few more days off than probably we're going to like it. Um, but I think we'll maybe see him as DH. Like I hope if they have like a day night doubleheader, I hope it's not he's going to sit one game, play one game. That they use him as a DH and let him play out in the field. In the second game, or if it's a night game followed by a day game, that that they do that type of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, obviously, you're moving him in right field because he has the arm to go ahead and handle the position. From that standpoint, anything that keeps Mike Trout with his feet on the field, I'm all for. From that standpoint, he is just an amazing talent to watch play. To me, when you look at the combination of, the power and the speed that he had, and unfortunately, he's another one of those players of, the what if. When you think about when you look at him and you look at the full seasons he's played, think about where he has finished in what do you call it? In MVP voting, right? I mean, when you damn it, where was it? I thought I have it. Oh yeah, there it is. When you think about let's see, when you think about Mike Trout and you think about when he has played full seasons, think about it, full seasons. When he has played 140 games or more, let's see, second place MVP, second place MVP, MVP, second place MVP, MVP, fourth place MVP, second place MVP, MVP, fifth place MVP. So that was from 2012 through 2020. Now, let's not count 2020 because we know what was there, right? But if you say from 2012 to 2019, he finished fourth in the MVP voting once. Every other season, he was number one or number two. He was a silver slugger in almost every single year. He's an all-star. I mean, what if that dude can stay healthy? I mean, it's amazing what he does for the game. It's a shame that his team won't make the playoffs. It's a shame we won't see him in the postseason and stuff. But at least being able to watch him play the game will be a great thing. Yeah, very, very, very smart move. Right now, he's probably at that point. I mean, and think about last year. People know that he got hurt, and they're like, "Ugh, another one." Well, you realize something? He only played in 29 games last year. He had 10 home runs in 29 games. 10 home runs in 29 games. His batting average sucked, but again, he had 10 home runs in 29 games. He was off to having a really, really good season. If he could go ahead and do some more of that, baseball will be, baseball is going to be fun to watch anyway. But when he's playing, it's great to watch the Angels. I would not be surprised if he's doing well this year, if the Angels don't come to him and say, "Hey, can we, what do you think about the potential of being, traded to a contender this year. If he could stay healthy, I would not be surprised if the Angels came to him to try and do something like that. I think it would make a ton of sense. I think for him, excuse me, it would make a ton of sense. I think the idea of him having potentially play in the playoffs is amazing. I think it's what real, not real, what true baseball fans want. True baseball fans want to see him, want to see him on a playoff team to see what he could do. See if he, is he a superstar that even elevates even more in the playoffs, or is he the guy who, can't handle the pressure and crumble? So we'll see. Yeah, so I think what you're looking from that standpoint, it's with the athletics. So the A's are going to be interesting because of the ballpark they play in and what's going to happen there. Seattle, they got the best starting five in baseball. If those guys pitch the way they're capable of, they won't need a lot of offense to win a lot of games, from that standpoint. Texas, I think personally, I think when you look at the Rangers, I think they're going to be there. In my opinion, they more than likely, are obviously hoping DeGrom and Evoli do well. Then they got Gray, you got Leiter, you got Kumar Rocker, from that standpoint. Now, offensive wise, they're going to need a lot. They're going to need Langford to continue. They're going to need Carter to continue. Simeon has to continue. Young coming back have to do well. You traded away your first baseman. Right now, your first baseman is probably going to be Jake Berger. Berger, not a bad player. We'll see, what happens there. The Angels are the Angels, the A's are the A's. I think it's a 3-team. If the pitching, if the pitching can hold up for Texas, I think it's a 3-team race between them, Seattle, and Houston, in my opinion. And if Seattle gets any kind of offense, they're going to be tough to beat because their 5 starters that they are going to have, are really good. That's what I think, because you have Castillo, Kirby, Gilbert, Miller, Brendan Wu, and you still have what's his name? Emerson Hancock is another one. So they have 6. They have 6 really good pitchers. So it'll be interesting to see what they'll be able to accomplish. Like I said, their problem is they'll have Cal Raleigh, Luke Raley, Dylan Moore, Polanco, Crawford. They will have a Rosarina, Rodriguez. They'll have Victor Robles, and they'll have Carver. Is that enough? Is that enough? Yep. It definitely will. It'll come down in September. All to be those guys are doing. So, going to be interesting. Going to be really, really interesting. I mean, it's going to be, with the Astros, it's going to be interesting to see how they fill the Bregman Tucker loss, because I think that the Tucker loss is probably the bigger one of the Bregmans. And the only reason I say that is because they did get Isaac, Isaac? Yeah, Isaac Paradise to replace Bregman. Again, not saying, he's holy cow, way better than Bregman, but they probably are a little more comparable at this age group. But you're talking about, if you're really think about it, if you're not looking from an outfield perspective and you're saying, okay, from a batting order perspective, you've basically pulled out Tucker, and because we're saying Altuve goes to the outfield, you're really looking at Mauricio Dubon or Brendan Rodgers trying to take, the at-bats that Tucker would have. That's going to be hard. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They did sign Luis Gourmet, the former New York Met. So we'll see. I mean, they got Valdez, you got Brown, you got Aaron Getty, you got Blanco, so you got some stuff over there. Well, you're throwing out Jake Myers and Chas McCormick and Altuve is what their projected outfield is right now. Yeah. Not great. I mean, Chas McCormick last year, 211, 5 home runs, 27 RBIs. Jake Myers last year, 219, 13 home runs, 61 RBIs. And when you look at it, you had Kyle Tucker, 289, 23 home runs, 49 RBIs. So he didn't do that well in the RBI, realm either, but he did only play 78 games. That's 23 home runs in 78 games. It's 49 RBIs in 78 games. So if he plays, 150, I'm not saying he's going to go, double everything and go 46 and 100, but he's probably going to be in the mid to upper 30s and probably close to 100. So it's a big, that's a pretty decent size, hole in the batting order that you got to try and fix. And you figure if you throw Bregman, Bregman was 26 home runs, 75 RBIs in 145 games. So that's a lot of production to lose. Now they did pick up Christian Walker, who's a 35 home run guy. Paradis is not really a big home run guy. Hit 20 last year. 19 last year. Walker only hit 26 last year. Oops, never mind. I thought Walker hit in 30s. He did not. He hit 30 the year before. But he only played 130 games. So, I don't know, man. It's I'm so looking forward to baseball this year. I can't wait to go ahead and get started and everything. But they are big holes. They're big losses. There's some big shoes to fill. But who knows? You got it, man. Thanks, Sean. Thanks for hanging out. And actually, you know what, guys? It's we've been going for an hour 20. I appreciate all you guys. Again, look for an email. Look for a post in the Discord if you're over there. I really would like to consider having, baseball preview shows coming up here as we get to the season. And then Big John, definitely, you and I got to get together for sure. We have to plan a WrestleMania show for the end of March, so we can go ahead and talk all about Mania and what's going to happen there, especially after the Elimination Chamber a little bit here in next week, next weekend to and see how that fills out WrestleMania. Thanks a lot, everybody. All right, yeah. You got it, man. You're in. I got a spot for you. Probably put you like right in the middle, Dom. You'll be like the middle square of Hollywood Squares, brother. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you for hanging out. Friday's video, another Marvel video. It should be a pretty good one. Some really nice cards in that one. So go check that one out. And I'll catch you next week for episode number 113.